Hi, ArcfieldWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday morning, February 29th. Strong cold front barreled through the mid-Atlantic region last night, and it has produced much colder conditions today, still on the windy side. But a warm-up will begin this weekend, and by the time we get to Sunday afternoon, it looks like temperatures in that D.C. to Philadelphia to New York City corridor will be pushing 60 degrees, maybe even into the low or mid-60s into places like Washington, D.C. The biggest weather story over the next several days will be the storm system that is about to hit California, much of the West Coast, all the way up to Washington, Oregon, southwestern part of Canada as well. This will be a cold storm. By that I mean temperatures will be dropping in the initial phase of this storm, and it will result in just tremendous amounts of snow over the higher elevation locations, especially, for example, the Sierra Nevada mountains of eastern California. Some 8, 9, 10 feet of snow possible in some of those higher elevations over the next 4 or 5 days or so. We will focus in on this cold California storm that's coming for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time period. Let's take a look at the satellite imagery loop here out over the northern part of the Pacific Ocean, just to orient ourselves. Here is Alaska right here, and look at this little twirl in the clouds right here. This is actually a cold storm system that's retrograding right now. It's moving to the west-northwest. This is going to actually turn around and come back down the west coast of Canada and down the west coast of the U.S., and that is your storm system headed towards California for the Friday, Saturday, Sunday time period. You can see the general flow here will be from the northwest to the southeast, and again, this actually is going the opposite direction right now, but it tends to rotate around and move on down the coast, first the west coast of Canada, and then impacting the west coast of the U.S. A lot of upper level winds here, and you can see this flow right here. That's associated with a high level jet streak, and we'll talk about the jet streaks involved over the next few minutes. Well, let's start off here by taking a look at the western half of the nation, the total snowfall forecast by last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. This is between now, Thursday morning, and next Tuesday morning. And here we go, just tremendous snowfall amounts out across those higher elevation locations of the western U.S. And take a look at this. This is the Sierra Nevada. That is not a misprint. That is 137 inches, more than 11 feet of snow depicted by this particular model run for one of those higher elevation locations of the Sierra Nevada. Just tremendous snowfall here over the next 4 or 5 days. We'll see it in a couple of minutes. The storm will be a long-lasting storm, and again, I mentioned a cold storm. That means elevation could drop for snow as low as 4 to 4,500, maybe 5,000 feet by the early part of the upcoming weekend. A cold storm, and that just enhances the snowfall over those higher elevation locations. Let's kind of clear the deck here. Notice accumulating snow all the way to the Colorado Rockies, across Wyoming, Idaho, the higher elevations of Washington, Oregon, and the rest of the western U.S. here with Nevada and Utah getting in on the action as well. By the way, some snow over the next few days across the panhandle of Texas, where there's some wildfires going on right now, as well as some of those higher elevation locations of New Mexico. So just tremendous snowfall. By the way, the rain amounts will not be all that excessive. This is such a cold storm that snow will be the biggest issue here. Again, anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 feet may drop down. Snow levels could drop down as low as 4,000 or 5,000 feet over the upcoming weekend. And I don't think Los Angeles, for example, will get more than maybe 1 to 2 inches of rain in those coastal sections here. But the snow will be the big story, and some unbelievable snow amounts possible by early to middle next week in those Sierra Nevada mountains. Well, what do I mean by a cold storm? Well, let's take a look here at the 850 millibar temperature anomalies forecasted by last night's zero-Z run of the GFS. This is beginning the day here at on Thursday morning, the 29th of February. You can see colder than normal conditions out over the Pacific Ocean, and that just translates to the western U.S. Here we go by Friday morning, and then by Saturday morning, and we're not only talking cold, we're talking way below normal cold here. This is at the 850 millibar level as that Alaska storm system starts sliding down to the south and east along the west coast of Canada, and then the west coast of the U.S., and cold air pushing in as well. And once it arrives, it sticks around, and we're all the way out now to early next week. And this is some very, very cold air relative to normal up across Montana, southwestern part of Canada. Still colder than normal conditions across California, all the way into the early part of next week. This goes out to next Tuesday, still well below normal temperatures in much of the western U.S. Well, we talked about jet streaks, and here is a look at the 250 millibar level. This is way up in the atmosphere, and we're looking at the wind levels, the wind speeds here with these jet streaks here. And here's one impressive jet streak right here. The higher winds shown in purple here. Those highest winds are what we call the jet streak area within the overall jet stream. And notice also kind of an active southern branch of the overall jet stream here. This is more or less associated with that El Nino that continues to exist across the tropical Pacific. It is starting to weaken right now, but nonetheless we still have an active branch, southern branch of the overall jet stream. But this is a key player here. Here is that reflection at the surface here of that low right now that's kind of meandering around the Gulf of Alaska here. And again, it starts to make a move to the south and east over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. But let's move forward here and watch this jet streak just push to the south and east, and indeed have a big impact right here. The strongest winds by Saturday morning over the northern half of California. And by the way, another jet streak here, kind of pushing in from the south to the north across the Baja region of California here. But here it is. This is a impressive jet streak, and notice this low right here showing up right here, situated right now, right in this region. It kind of rotates around and then starts to make that push to the south and east by the upcoming weekend, all contributing to tremendous snowfall amounts in those higher elevation locations. Let's go all the way into the day on Sunday, and here we go, a very, very strong jet streak again across the northern half of California. This will be a long-lasting storm. We'll start to see some precipitation by the end of the work week here, and it lasts all the way into the early part of next week. In fact, we'll take a look here at the surface forecast maps from the conventional run of the GFS at 0Z last night, and we'll see how long-lasting this is. We're looking at the western U.S., California right here, already getting some precipitation across coastal Washington and Oregon, snow in those higher elevation areas, and rain at the lower elevation locations. Move forward here. Notice here, already getting some snow by later on tonight into early Friday across the Sierra Nevada. And here comes a low pressure at the surface, a 988 millibar low here by early Friday. And just snow starts to pile up as early as tomorrow across the mountains of the Sierra Nevada, with rain at those lower elevation locations. But again, this is not really going to be a significant rain event for those coastal areas. More snow will definitely be the biggest factor here to watch over the next several days. And notice some snow already breaking out over the interior western U.S., the Rocky Mountain states here, and all these higher elevation locations near the coast sections of Washington and Oregon also get pounded by snow over the next several days here. Look at this. This is now by Saturday morning, just unbelievable snow amounts here. Again, snow elevations dropping through this storm system all the way down to 4,000 or 5,000 feet. And the result will be 8, 9, 10, maybe even 11 feet of snow in some parts of the Sierra Nevada. And here's that storm system at the surface, 984 millibar, now over the Puget Sound region of Washington near Seattle area, just off the coast here by Saturday morning. That's the same system that is rotating now right to the south of Alaska here. Keep moving forward here. And again, we talked about a long-lasting storm. Here we go all the way into the day on Sunday. Still some snow accumulations here over those Sierra Nevada mountains. Again, some rain, but not tremendous rainfall amounts. Snow now extending all the way to the Colorado Rockies here by the latter part of the weekend. Notice that low starting to finally weaken at the surface, but a lot of damage will have been done by this particular time, especially in terms of tremendous snowfall amounts. Will go all the way into the early part of next week. Here we go by Monday morning. Still some snow accumulations here, likely all the way into Monday across at least the northern part of the mountains of eastern California. Snow extending still all the way into the Colorado Rockies. So a very, very impactful storm in terms of snow. A cold storm system headed to California will produce some accumulating snow all the way through the western Rocky Mountain states. So if you're a skier and you'd like to go out west, boy, this is your storm. And again, 8, 9, 10 feet of snow possible over the next several days in the Sierra Nevada mountains of eastern California. That's it for now. For ArcfieldWeather.com, this has been meteorologist Paul Dorian.